Hello everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com. Oops, what happened to me? There I am. That was funny. Pushing buttons here. It is Wednesday, January 27th at 11 a.m. Central Time as I am broadcasting to you live. And I'm playing around with my equipment here and I noticed that the delay is definitely about 35 seconds. That is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So it's fun to see your comments roll in though. Before the live, I'm always here at my desk area getting things ready, and I have it all set up. And even though I don't have time to always respond, it's fun to see what you guys are saying. A lot of you are always, a lot of you question what I'm going to be wearing. Today I struggled. I struggled today. I wanted to match both the pink box and the white box, and so I decided to wear pink and white. I have these earrings in that I just love. They have like this little, anyways, for those of you that care, I have pink earrings in. That matches the box. And then I didn't wear green, although I was tempted to because of the leaves. But yeah, I try to match my projects to what I'm wearing. Just white today and pink earrings. Anyways, welcome everybody. And I'm glad that you joined me. We are going to make a box, and it's a 2-compartment box. I got the idea from my friend Joy Carter. She emails me ideas once in a while, and this one was just so super simple and easy, and I thought, how can I change this up to work with some of Stampin' Up's products? So I was playing around with the papers that we have and the products that we have, and did the box for, the same size as the video had shared. By the way, there's a link to the video that she shared with me in the description of this video. And Damask Love, is that the name of the YouTube channel? I think so. Anyways, so I played around with it, did the same size box, and then I was like, my math brain started working, and I was so excited. So I started doing different size boxes, and I came up with 5 different sizes to share with you. I don't have the measurements for all of them listed in my measurements and supply list, but I have the measurements for 2 of them. So, and hopefully I can teach you how to adapt them to the 3 other sizes. So, yes, Trisha is with us. I see Trisha's comment rolling in. And so if you see her name, she has the little wrench symbol next to her name, and she is my moderator. Thank you, Trisha Josephs, for helping me out once again today. If you have a question or you need to contact her in any way for, information that you're looking for or whatever, or you just want to thank her for being with us, you can tag her by putting the @ before her name, and her name should come up, and then you can click on her and it will tag her. It will make her name show up brighter for her so she can see it. And welcome to those of you who are new. In fact, let's start with that. Let's bring up comments from last week, and then, oops, hang on. There we go. Comments from last week are right here. I like to do little screenshots of the comments so that you can see what your, there we go, let's make that smaller, what your fellow viewers chime in with. So every once in a while we have someone who's completely new to a live, and I like to catch their comments and say to them the video afterwards, thank you so much for watching. So thank you for Rhonda watching, and let's see who else was new to doing lives. I think there was a couple others in there, but thank you for letting me know that you're new. And I love the emojis. Emojis are so much fun. So I highlight a few comments that had emojis like, look at this, Cindy, she's at the beach. How nice. I'm in the snow and she's at the beach. And I love that Pauline shared. If you do share the video, just comment that you shared, because every comment that you list in the live, boy, I'm struggling for words today, that will get you entered into the prize drawing, because we do a prize drawing at the end. Thank you, Trisha. And then we also do a prize drawing for after live. So if you commenting after live, you get entered too. So comment away. Galentines. Yes, we call them galentines. Some of you had questions about that. In that stamp set that we used last week, there's actually a phrase in there that said Happy Galentine's Day, and we used that on the card. And it's just, a way of saying Happy Valentine's Day to your gal friends, I think, your girlfriends. And This is hilarious. These little emojis at the top there by Holly with the mind blowing. And Tiffany said the same thing here. She has the same mind blowing emoji over there on the right. Oh my gosh, mind blown with that ribbon block technique where we tied the ribbon around a smaller block and then cut it and it saves on ribbon. I think there was a question in there that I wanted to get to. Let's see here. Maybe there wasn't a question last week. There was some tips though. Cut the middle out of foil sheets. Thank you, Nancy, for mentioning that. I do that often too. I just didn't do it with that one, which was crazy. I think we're doing it on the card that I'm sharing next week. Yes. And I'm going to move on. But yes. Oh, and Terry, thank you for telling me that the lighting looks great. I was having some glare. When I get closer to my window, can you see that? I actually get like a real whitish glare on me. So I tried to move further away from my window this time. Okay, we're going to come back to the desktop. Let me adjust some things here because I'm going to show you first the bundle that I'm going to be featuring today. And I'm going to show it to you in the catalog. Oops. Oh, I can tilt myself too. You guys, this is funny. Look at this. Watch. Hang on. Look at that. Okay, we'll go back to having that straightened out if I can get it straightened out there. Okay, so this is the current mini catalog. By the way, don't ignore the annual catalog. It has lots of awesome products too. But for some reason, I'm just having a blast with the mini catalog. On page 45 of the mini catalog, we have a bundle of products. And I actually featured this bundle in one of my virtual events recently. And so I'm going to show you one of the projects that I shared at that virtual event. We're going to be using the Pierced Blooms dies and the In Bloom stamp set. They are bundled together to save you 10%. You can see some of the fun designs here. It's a flower stamp set, but it also has some great sentiments in it. And you can see below here that these are the dies that you can get with that die set. There's a label for putting your sentiments in. There's some fun little circle or ovalish kind of images. You could do something Eastery with those, but I think they're also meant to be flower centers. These flowers are not perfect. They're meant to be kind of more whimsical. They've got stitching already in them. So they're Pierced Blooms dies. Isn't that fun? They've already got the stitching in them. And then we've got a faux bow, a little fake little bow down here that you could use. And you could use that with this could become the ribbon or it could become the stem of the flowers. So some really fun dies in there. They've even got doubles of some of them. Now this here is actually not the exact same die. It curves in two different directions. But to have the ability to cut out multiple leaves at the same time. Again, down here, these are two different directions, even though they look identical. But it's fun to be able to do multiples at once because you build your flowers up a lot quicker that way. In fact, let me show you the dies real quickly. So you can see here with this one, you can die cut 3 at a time. You can die cut 2 at a time. So some of them are even multiples within the exact same die. So fun stuff. And then this is the coordinating stamp set a little bit closer. They are not stitched images, but they are definitely matching. They have that same shape, same design. And then in the celebration brochure, now this is the brochure that you'd want to look at if you want to get free product for every $50 you order. Within that first page layout is a set of papers. And these papers are called paper blooms. They mention in some of the brochures, the first printed ones, there's a mistake here. It was mentioned here that they match the Pretty Perennials bundle. They do not. I mean, they kind of coordinate okay with them, but they're actually meant to, and you can see in the samples here, they're meant to coordinate with the In Bloom bundle. So I'll be using that in the larger box, this designer paper. But I just wanted to point that out to you that if you fall in love with this bundle, you may want to also invest in that designer paper. And here is that designer paper a little bit closer. So you can see lots of fun florals. And then there's this one here that's a bunch of painted looking circles. So there's all the fun floral designs you can get. And then on the flip side of those papers are some other designs that are smaller in pattern, more like background designs instead of main designs. But just Google or go on Pinterest and search for in bloom or pierced blooms or paper blooms. You're going to see a ton of samples out there using the stamp set, the dies, and the papers because people are in love with this stuff. It is amazing. We are going to go ahead and share. Let's do this next. Let's share the measurements that you'll need if you want to make the smaller box along with me. They're up here. If you want to make the larger box, those measurements are right there. And then the supplies are listed on the left. It's a 2-compartment box. It's really quite adorable. I think we're going to start with die cutting some pieces for our box. Piercing. I have that in my head now. So I'm going to grab those dies behind me that I'm going to need. And while you are looking at those supplies, you can see that I listed the In Bloom bundle at the top. I listed it at the top, and then I listed the stamp set and the dies separately because I wanted to give you the choice. If you do the bundle, you will get a savings of 10%, like I mentioned earlier. And if you do them separately, they are listed separately, so you can choose that instead. And then we also have below the mini glue dots, so further to the bottom, you can see where my mouse is kind of pointing, the Rococo Rose, Night of Navy, Just Jade, and Rococo Rose ink and Night of Navy ink. Those are used on the second box, the pinker one that I'm going to show you afterwards. I've also listed the Paper Blooms paper way down here because I don't use it on the small box, but I use it on the larger one. So that is listed here for the larger box. And then I've got the Velcro fasteners and little disc magnets. I will show those to you. I have links for them in the description of my video so that in case you're looking for closing your box the same way I closed a couple of them, you can do that. But here we go. Let's go to the desktop and start die cutting. All right, we have got in front of us my real messed up cutting mat. Sorry, I didn't grab my cleaner ones. Here is platform number 1. Platform number 2, which is great for die cutting. Then we've got our cutting mat and we've got our cardstocks. And I'm going to try to do all of them at once. So we can just do one sweep through. I've got little scraps. I'm going to do a light blue flower. I'm going to do a dark blue center. And I'm going to do some leaves. These colors are Coastal Cabana, Bermuda Bay, and Granny Apple Green. We'll line everything up to make sure it is going to go in straight. Oops, hang on. I am at a different angle than I normally am when I'm crafting, so hang on. There we go. Oh, there. Super. Got it. Had to be out of the camera for a minute. Oh, you know what? Speaking of being out of the camera or not seeing my lips while I'm talking, I want to apologize to those of you who are hearing impaired or deaf. I do have the camera on here for that reason so that you can not only, see me while I'm talking, but you can possibly read my lips in case we have issues with closed captioning, which lately we have. I have the closed captioning option on there. And it is not kicking in on my last 2 videos, I noticed. I've been trying to reach out to YouTube, but I cannot get a hold of them. So this happened one other time, and I promise you that I will keep on pursuing that. So you can see I've die cut those little pieces. We'll now move this back out of the way so we don't need it anymore. And we're going to pull in our basic white. Did I say Whisper White earlier? I hope not. We are moving away from Whisper White cardstock to our basic white cardstock, and I oftentimes say the wrong thing, sorry. All right, we're going to go ahead and cut the base for our box. And this box piece is going to be 6 by 6, and we're going by inches. And then we're going to turn it, and we're going to go 6 this way. So I'm going right up to that 6-inch mark. For those of you who use metric measurements, I do have some adaptations using centimeters that I will share with you when I show you my thinking that I did on the box, but I encourage you to just get out your inches if you want the same size boxes, because it's going to make it so much easier than trying to convert it and then just make the same size box anyways. So now I'm going to zoom in a bit, and we are going to do some scoring and cutting within. So you've got your square piece. We're making a 2-compartment box out of a square piece of cardstock or paper. I'm also using the thinner of the 2 basic whites. We do have a thick and we have a thin, and I think the thinner the paper on the smaller the box, the better. And that's funny because the larger box is made out of designer paper, and I think it would work better if I used cardstock on it, but I had to have a pretty box. So I'm making my smaller one with the regular basic white. So now we're going to take this paper, which is 6 inches by 6 inches and easily divisible by the number 24. You'll know what I mean by that later. And we are going to score it at a 1/2 inch. So I'm using the measurements on this side of my trimmer, and I'm at a 1/2 inch mark. Then we're going to rotate it this way, and the next measurement we are going to go to, sorry, I have to grab my cheat sheet. The next measurement we're going to go to is 1 3/4. So that's at this spot here. Then we're going to move to 3 1/4. So I have 1/4 inch measurements in here. If you take 6 and you multiply it by 4, that gives you 24. So I've, the increments in this box are at every, at spots along a 24, a square that's divided by 24. Never mind, you'll see in a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to 3 1/4 inches. I'm probably just going to mess you guys up by talking about that. But for those of you that love math, you'll know what I mean. 4 1/2 is the last one. So again, we have 1/2 inch, 1 3/4, 3 1/2, 3 1/4, and 4 1/2. Then we're going to rotate it in our trimmer so that the 1/2 inch section is up towards the top. And we're going to move to the 1 1/2 inch mark here. And in fact, we're going to go just a little bit before it. So just slightly shorter than 1 1/2, and not even like a 1/16 inch before. Just here, I'll zoom in so you can see. So here I'm on it, and here I'm backed away from it just a tad. And it's going to help for when we fold up the box. So just a little bit before, and we score. And then the next measurement is going to go to the 4 1/2 inch mark, but because our 1 1/2 inches on this side, we're now going to scoot it in the other direction just slightly. So just a little over the 4 1/2 inch mark, and we'll score it there. Okay, that'll make these sections just a little bit shorter than 1 1/2 inches. Next, in fact, when you have it still on the trimmer, it might help to do the cutting here. So we've got it positioned here, and we did our score mark, and now we're going to take our trimmer and we're going to cut from the bottom up to that first score mark, lift it, bring it back down on our second score mark, and cut. We'll bring it to that next measurement, which was just over 4 1/2 inches. And again, we did our score line through there, then we're going to cut, lift, put it back down, and cut. And I should zoom out. Sorry, hang on. I'm going to do this with a slightly darker piece of cardstock. I'm going to do it faster, and you'll be able to see those score lines probably a little bit better. 6 by 6 piece, scored at a 1/2 inch. Can you see? Yeah, you can see that better. Should have done it with dark. Okay, then scored at 1 3/4, 3 1/4, and 4 1/2. Rotate. Yeah, you can totally see those score lines better, can't you? Then rotate so that this 1/2 inch section is up towards the top, just under 1 1/2. Score. Then slice to the first score mark, lift up, push it back down and slice. Then move it to the 4.5-inch mark and go just slightly beyond. Score, slice up to that first score line, lift up, go to the next score line, and cut. So that's what it's going to look like. Okay? That's all you do for any size of the box. You know, if you're going to do 12 by 12 paper, 6 by 6 paper. At this point, we are now going to do some stamping, just a little bit. So this is going to become the front of my box, the front panel. And I want to do a little stamping there. I'm going to take my Bermuda Bay ink. I'm going to close something out here. Hang on. I'm going to take my Bermuda Bay ink and my stamps. And if you saw in the stamp set, mine is nice and stained now. That's what happens to photopolymer. Those little pores in the stamps just absorb that ink. But if you saw here, the happy birthday, you really are the best, is one whole stamp. I took that stamp and cut it in half. Because I really wanted to use this message here, you really are the best, with you are amazing, congrats, you mean so much to me. I thought this was perfect for using with any of them. In fact, more so than the happy birthday one. So I took and cut that stamp in half. Forgive me. Some of you would never do that, but I swear it's an okay thing to do. We're going to ink up our stamp by just pouncing lightly. We are going to remember this mat, although I had someone ask last week, do you have to have that? Or, you know, it's kind of worded that way. You do not. You do not have to have the pierce mat. I have stamped many a video without my pierce mat underneath, my Stampin' Pierce mat. And you still can get a decent inking onto your cardstock with your stamp image. This just ensures it. It just makes it a better guarantee that you're going to have a good image. So hang on, I'm just going to bring this towards me so I can get it lined up right. Okay, coming back into the camera. I just want to make sure this was parallel with the top of my box, and the score marks on the white paper are harder to see. So I've stamped it down, and now I have my happy birthday, and this is going to be showing on the front of my box. Okay. I also purposely stamped it off to the left a bit because the top of our box is going to be decorated more on the right. So we're going to move that stamp and this ink pad out of the way, and we'll come over and use our Granny Apple Green next. I'm going to bring in some grid paper. Here it is. Just put that under here for a minute, and then I'm going to grab one of our new tools. This is our blending brushes. I'm so glad we have some. I am so glad we have some. The blending brushes are awesome. I don't think I have any color that's going to rub off. This is my one that is stained Granny Apple Green because it's one of my favorite colors. You just take and rub it onto your pad and it lifts up the color. These, they're like soft little bristles, better than a sponge. They make a very soft sponge look instead of one that looks spongy. So you're going to ink it. You're going to rub off some so you don't have such harsh color. You're going to figure out where you're starting. You start there where you want the deepest color, and you start going in a circular motion. And I'm just going to keep on going until I feel like I have the space covered that I want in green. Okay? I've got a nice green little splotch there ready to go. Oh, I'm going to leave this open because we are going to use one more stamp, and that is a little speckle image. By the way, I rarely do this where I take my stamps and separate them from the plastic sheet when you get them, but I just want to show you how that works. So they're between two plastic sheets currently. I know that Stampin' Up! Is doing some configuration here soon where they're going to be attached to the box. So cool. But right now they're on two plastic sheets. One has the images. Oops. One has the images and one is just a plastic sheet here. And then they've got, you know, because the images are on there, you can figure out where they go and store them that way. Okay, so we've got a little speckle image on there. It's tiny little speckles. I'll show you what it looks like. It looks like that. Kind of fun, right? And we're just going to do that. In fact, here, we'll stamp that one down right now in that spot. We'll do another one right about there with full ink, another one right about there with not full ink. They call that second generation stamping. We'll do another one with full ink right about here and another one right about there. So we have different tones of ink. We have first generation, second generation. You can even do, third generation if you want to have a lighter image. So you can get different shades of one color just with one ink pad. If you're wanting to expand your color collection, just keep that in mind. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to actually start assembling. Let's start assembling. So let's move this out of the way and grab our tear and tape adhesive. Now on the darker box that I just cut for you, I'm just going to draw on here where I'm going to put the tape, and then we can apply that idea. So we're going to put tape here and here. Then we're going to flip it over to the inside, and we're going to put tape, you can actually put it over this whole surface here, and you're going to put it definitely over this whole surface here. But on this one, if you want to, you can omit putting tape above, or beyond, I should say, the middle section, and just put it here. In fact, you know what? I'll do that to this one so you can see what I mean, but then I'll attach it a different way. So if you, I'll do that. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and tear off the tear and tape. You can use a scissors if you like a neater look, but tear and tape adhesive, you just unroll it, tear it, and stick it down. It's pretty cool stuff. Okay, so that is, I put it on the wrong end, you guys. Gotta have mistakes in every video, Rachel. It's just the way it is. And you know what? This goes on the inside of the box, so it's totally fine if I have some smudges on there. I just want to get the adhesive off. It's white. It's hard to see. There's my little tab. If we just do some folding beforehand so we can see it, there's the tabs. I bet some of you were commenting, no, don't put it there, Rachel. Okay, so we have them on the tabs, and we flip it over, and here is that section. This is the bottom of our box, and if you look here, there, we'll just put them side by side so Rachel doesn't mess up. We're going to put tape along the bottom here, close to the score line, along the bottom here, close to the score line. We'll do another one a little bit higher, not quite to the middle though, or not over the middle. We'll do one up here, close to that score line, and then we'll just, for added tape, we'll just stick another one through there. Grab the bone folder, and now we're going to do some burnishing, making sure that adhesive is pressed on there, and then we're going to do some folding. So we come in with our bone folder, and we're going to make sure that all of these creases are nice and crisp. I forget. I mean, even when I wear white, it glares. It's like a little bit brighter than, I don't know. I have to be careful of too much white in my projects, I guess. Okay, so we are scoring. We're giving those scores great creases so they're nice and crisp, and our box will come together easier. We'll score the middle sections in the same way. Some of you are seeing how this box comes together already, I can tell. And then we have one more score in this direction on each side. So we'll go like that, and we'll go like that. And believe me, having a tool like the bone folder really does help with those scores, and those are very important. Let's get these little guys ready. We're going to cut into this leaf right there and there, so we've got a piece that looks like two leaves. In fact, we'll even cut off some of the end there because it's a little long, and we'll cut off the end here. And then we've got this piece here, and you saw that in my my images before the video started. So those are all set to go. We'll add those, and we're going to add those with some metallic pearls. Fun. They come in gold and silver in a package. So have those ready to go. I'm going to grab my dimensionals, my glue dots, and what do I need the seal for? Oh, I put that on the list because we're going to use that with the larger paper. So I'm going to keep that over here for now. Okay. All right, I think I got that ready. I think we're set. Here we go. So let's peel off these two pieces first. If you have fingernails that are painted, which I used to have all the time, it helps to grab the take your pick tool. I'm going to go grab that. Because my fingernail, I had an issue with my fingernail and I had to trim off most of the nail. It was peeling wrong. You know how they get those little divots? Yeah, anyways. So I had to trim it down really far and now I'm having trouble. So we're going to take and fold this one over and this one over and they're going to catch on each other. Okay? And then we're going to do the same thing to this side. Like that. So now we have our two compartments. Watch. Ta-da! Cool, right? Those are the two compartments of the box. We'll flatten them back down for a minute and we're going to peel off the backings on these. Take your pick tool. It's awesome. It has lots of different uses. I don't think I added that to the supply list though, and forgive me if I didn't. If I did, then sorry that I did not have it on my desk with me. Okay, all those are peeled off. We are not going to put, and some of you are saying, oh, put adhesive here. I did that initially, but it's not a good idea. It's going to make it so that you may have issues with connecting your box correctly. So just hold them together real firm and start with this side. This is the front of your box. Just start by pushing up and towards. Okay, that is going to connect this portion with the two compartments of your box. Then you're just going to hold this side. See how I'm pinching it there? I made some of these with the paper pumpkin kit supplies from the January kit and did it in a video that just posted this last weekend. I did it with a smaller size that was 12 centimeters by 12 centimeters. And in fact, here, I'll show them to you. Okay, these are the boxes. But this one, I did not pinch it very close together when I attached. And I mentioned that in the video. So really pinch it tight, then connect. And then you can push this back and really press hard to make sure that they're connected. So these are the smaller ones that I did with 12 centimeter by 12 centimeter pieces. Again, 12, 24, that works, right? So aren't they cute? Little snail boxes with some Dove chocolates and Hershey Kisses in them. This size, though, takes, and let's just grab them right now, takes this size candy for those of you that love Ferrero Rocher, or, where's the other one? The Lindt truffles. Those are good for this size too. So now I've got my box, and do you see, now this is the reason I did not put adhesive in this part. The same thing that I did on the paper pumpkin little boxes, I just showed you here. You can actually use that area as a closure to hold your box lid shut. You just put the tab right down in there and your box will hold shut. So you could do that, or you can purchase from a craft store or Amazon or whatever. These are little Velcro dots, and I will show you how to apply them. Or I got these also off Amazon. I'm not sure where else you can get them, but look at how small these little magnets are. They are very tiny. I don't remember who it was. Was it Verla? Somebody in my group mentioned, she said, a warning, don't let those magnets just, fall or get loose somewhere because your pets can eat them. and then it can do some damage to their intestinal system. So, especially if there's two in their system, I guess. So please be careful if you have magnets. The Velcro ones are 3/8 of an inch. So I'm just going to take one of these pieces and cut it, and one of these pieces. So I've got the front and the back of the Velcro. Hook and loop, I think that is like the general name for this product, hook and loop closures. I'll stick those back into my little baggie. So links to those are on the description of the video, also in the blog post. Oh, by the way, the blog post will go live in about 45 minutes. This is the fine tip glue that I use to apply for the magnet closures, and you'll see that on one of my larger boxes. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this guy on here. Now I stuck them together. That's what you want to do. You want to stick them together when you're going to put them on. One is clear and one is soft and white. It's your choice which one you want to have here on the front of the box and which one you want to have more hidden on the inside lip of the box. The clear one's rougher. So, but I have white cardstock here, so I'm going to actually put the softer one right here. And I'm going to put it so it's right between the two compartments. See how I positioned it there? And I'm going to squish it down really hard. Then I'm going to peel off the backing for this piece. And you can see they're already lined up pretty well. I'm going to line them up better. They're lined up pretty well. Then we're going to take this and we're going to close it so it's all lined up over the top. And you just do that and you get some pressure on there. You can't put a lot of pressure on there right now because otherwise you'll bust your box. But if you get your finger under there and you pull the Velcro section with it, then you can open it up and really squish it down. Okay, that's done. Now we just have to decorate the top. So for the top, I'm going to grab my dimensional sheet. Oh, here's a tip too. This is an awesome one. Watch this. So you can take and, like a bone folder. This is what Andrea Tucker suggested. You just take your bone folder and you go like that, and it helps to separate the little backing. So I'll do it on the actual flower. So we're going to put the dimensional on here. Thank you, Andrea. You push this down and it helps to separate the backing from your dimensional in case, again, you have either really thick fingernails from painting or you have stubby ones like this one is today for me. This is going to go on my box approximately. Where's my finished one? Hang on. There it is. That one's going to go on here. And then we'll take our stitched leaves and we'll roll these out and pick up a few dots. Stick that one on, stick that one on, and this will go tucked right under like this. Oops, right onto the lid. Then this one will pick up some glue dots, and you know what? Shh, don't tell anyone. Everyone's gonna know. Look I had a cutting boo-boo, but I just decided to ignore it. The one that you will see photographed in my blog post is the one that is not damaged. But I'm trying to make the exact same thing. I always do. So there's that. Oh, we need the glue dots one more time because we need to put on the center flower. So that's going to go here. And then remember we brought these little cute guys in? Watch this. This is another thing that is awesome about the Take Your Pick tool. It has this little gummy end, and mine is really kind of messed up because I've been doing a lot of rhinestones with it. But you just take and you push it onto the top of a pearl or a rhinestone. I love this. I don't even remember who showed me this, but look at that. Ah! Quickest way to add those darn little embellishments. Just like that. Ta-da! I love that. Thank you to who showed me that. I don't know who it was. But there's a fun little off-center embellishment on the center of your flower. You open it up. You've got some fun chocolates inside. What a great way to make somebody's birthday a little bit more special. We're going to do a bigger box. So now you saw these, right? there's the other finished one. In fact, oh, let me show you. Here, we'll just, we'll open this one up. There. Now you can see the inside of that one. You can see that one. And I'm going to show you the pinkish one. So this is the pink version. This is done with the Rococo Rose cardstock. Same stamp set, but different sentiment image. Same technique at the top. I actually did do, you can kind of see a shadow of darker Rococo Rose under there with the blending brush. It doesn't show up as much as the green does on this one though. And then I did that same speckle look, white, Night of Navy, and just jade for the cardstock. On the inside, I have lint truffle candies, and this one is closed with that non-Velcro or non-magnetic way. So there's all of those. Aren't they fun? And then here's the paper pumpkin ones. We'll just put those in here too so you can see those. Look at this one. I have to show this to you. It's super tiny. You could put M&Ms or Skittles in there. This is done with a piece that is, what is it? It is 6 centimeters by 6 centimeters, 12 centimeters by 12 centimeters, 6 inches by 6 inches. And now I'm going to show you this one here. This is 12 inches by 12 inches. I'm going to walk you through making one of those real quick, not the whole box, but just that size. And then if you need another size, this is 24 centimeters by 24 centimeters. So you can see the difference in all of these boxes. Here's another one. Let me zoom out. Oops, there we go. So you can see that there are all these different sizes that you can make based on those 5 different starting points of measurements. Craziness, right? So before I walk you through the 12 by 12, I'm going to show you something quick. This is my little guide for doing my inch ones. I've got the 1/2 inch, the 1 3/4, the 3 1/4, 4 1/2, 1 1/2, and 4 1/2 marked on there. For the 12-inch box, you're just going to double the size of all of it. So the 1/2 inch doubled is 1 inch. 1 3/4 doubled is 3 1/2. 3 1/4 doubled is 6 1/2. You can see that on there. Okay. The math, for those of you that, now this might blow some of your brains away, so don't look for a while if you just hate math. But what I did is I made this grid of a 24 by 24 square, and I pointed to where those score lines would be in the 2 different directions, depending on whatever size you do, whether it's 12 by 12, 6 by 6, 3 by 3 in inches, or 24 by 24, 12 by 12 in centimeters, right? Because if you take that square, whatever square it is, so you can work with other size papers now, and you score 2 spots down from that thing sectioned into 24, after the 7, after the 13, and after the 18, and then after the 6 and after the 18 in this direction, you can apply this to any box or any square piece of paper or cardstock that is divisible by 24. There. Okay, everyone can open their ears now and look. I'm done with the math lesson. Sorry. Here's our 12 by 12. 12 by 12. We're going to take a pretty sheet from, let's grab this one. Okay. And this is what Damask Love shared in her video, is the 12 by 12 measurements. This is what I started out with. You can see my messy desk here, but I want you to be able to see the measurements. So again, those measurements are 1 inch, turn it around, 3 1/2 inches, and she used the Simply Scored tool, or one similar, a score pail, I think it's called. So that was 3 1/2, 6 1/2, and 9. rotate it so that this skinnier section is up towards the top, and score it at 3 inches. Just under, I should say. Just under 3 and just over 9. Oh, I forgot the trimming again. Hang on. Just under 3. We're going to cut up to that first score line, lift, bring it down in the next score line, and cut. Move it to the 9, just over the 9. And we're going to cut up to that first score line, lift it, bring it down, and slice. And for a light paper, a very lightweight paper, my recommendation is to use seal adhesive. You can use Seal Plus or you can use regular seal. Depends on how heavy your gift is going to be on the inside of your box. And I do want to show you what I put into my larger boxes. We're scoring on all of those marks first, because we are not going to burnish our seal. Our seal comes out as tape ready to go. So let's just get these score lines all in here, nice and creased. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I know it's hard to give away 3D things right now because we're mailing things through the mail. We're not seeing a lot of people in person, but if in case you have the opportunity to give somebody something 3D, well then this is fun. Where's the seal? Here it is. You can always come back to this video and watch it later. I'm thinking Easter. Easter would be fun. I'm thinking, you know, if you want to make these larger ones and give them to neighbors, you could do that. So we're attaching those pieces together here, and then we want to do our adhesive. Remember, this is the base of our box right here. So we're going to put our adhesive on these panels. So one here, here, a little bit in the middle, here, and I'm going to go ahead and bring it all the way to the top on this second box. So I've put adhesive all the way onto those sections. We're going to grab our compartments, bring them together, and they will get caught. They will get caught on that tape. So you have to keep them centered in your box right up to that score line. See how I'm kind of pinching and connecting at the same time? That goes here, and this goes here. We're going to fold that back. On the inside of this box here, I have placed that gilded leafing. It fits in there. That whole container of gilded leafing fits in the box with a sponge. You could even probably fit 2, yes you could. You could fit 2 sponges in there. That's how big this box is. On this one, which I decorated with an image from the Sweet Strawberry set, and also, of course, the coordinating bloom punch, and I've even got the coordinating punch for that set because I've got a bloom that's smaller here, and I had to use the label punch, that oval, layering ovals punch. On that one, I'll zoom in now, sorry, I have the gold, what are they called? They're right here. The gilded gems. And on the inside, I have 4 containers of glue dots. Seriously, that's how big this box is. This is one that closes with the magnet. See? Just kind of connects. And, oops. Oh, I've been opening and closing it too much. I'll have to re-glue that. And then I've got a smaller one. This is a smaller one, done with the size that I shared with you today. 6x6 paper, same things, some gold foil paper, and on the inside is more Ferrero shares. Oh my goodness sakes, Rachel, that was a lot today. I like to share. Let me go to what else is on the agenda today. Oh, celebration. Make sure you're taking advantage of that. I'm going to take some things and move them on my computer here. We're going to do prizes next. So for those of you that were here with us last week, we had some prize winners that we drew live, and then we had some leftover prizes for our after live commenters. So for our after live commenters, I did go this morning to that video and I put all your names into a random drawing and I picked 2 names. So we have 2 more winners who get to pick from the Berry Blessings Approaching Perfection. These are both celebration stamp sets, or your choice will be the 2 containers of the Snowflake Sequins, great for shaker cards. So let's figure out find out who they are. And while I'm sharing this name, I'm going to come back to the desktop and I'll share with you this week's prizes, and then Trisha can choose some winners. So congratulations to Sandra and to Anna. Anna? It might be Anna. Anna Rodriguez and Sandra Poidamani, I think is how you say your name. Congratulations to both of you. You get to pick from these. The first person who contacts me will get to pick first. I'll go back to the desktop here. So yeah, contact me because I think, well, actually I can reach out to you, but sometimes people don't read their notifications on YouTube. So that's the only way I can reach you, is if I comment after your comment from last week. And these are after live winners. The live winners, I cannot comment from your comments at all. So when Trisha draws your name, here, let's grab those prizes. When Trisha draws your names, she's going to draw 2 winners. We're going to do two live winners and then 1 after live for this video. But when she calls your name, and maybe she has already, you are going to receive these fun little boxes. They are no longer current, but the craft pillow boxes make for great treat holders too. And then along with a thing of basic pearls. So each winner, our 2 lives and our 1 after live, will get to have those. And Trisha just, oh yes, yay! Wanda, is it Wanda Yegla and Nancy Hood? Congratulations to both of you. Reach out to me though. She will, I think she put the email address in there, and if not, I do have these overlays that I always forget to use. You too, reach out to me and let me know how to get a hold of you so I can send these prizes to you. If you do not live in the US, I have other options for prizes for you because I cannot send product to you through the mail. Sorry about that. But you will all win no matter what. If you are someone who has never visited my blog, it's at stampyourartout.com. You'll be able to see this blog post go live there in about 25 minutes. It's always time for about 12:15 Central Time. So you can visit there. There's a link to it in the description of my video, and you can see close-up photos of all that I shared today. You can see the measurements listed again in case you didn't take a screenshot. You can see all the supplies visually at the bottom of the post, linked to my online store in case you'd like to shop for any products. And on that note, if you're interested in shopping for any products, you can certainly do so. There's a Shop Now link in my website. I think there's one in the description of this video. You can get your hands on these fun products so that you can make some of these goodies yourself. Again, if you do order $50 or more during this time of celebration, you can redeem for a free celebration item. And we actually have level 2 celebration items redeemed at the $100 level too. So check those all out. If you have a demonstrator of your own, or you are a demonstrator, please shop from them or yourself. Because we want to share the love. So I just love sharing my ideas. I hope that you enjoyed all of the things that I shared. I'm going to move to talking about next week. Next week is February 3rd. Already February. Crazy. And so next week on Wednesday, same time, same place, 11 a.m. Central Time on my YouTube channel. I hope that you'll come back and spend some time with me. I can't wait to go back and read all your comments. I'm seeing a few of them, but it's hard for me to pay attention while I'm live, but I can't wait to read them. And what else do I want to mention? So I will see you next week. I have a fun fold card for you. Surprise, surprise. I love doing fun fold cards. They're one of my favorites. And can't wait to show it to you. It's also going to be connected to some tutorials that I feature each month. So I'm going to be highlighting the Love You Always suite with my fun fold card next Wednesday. I hope you'll come back and visit me. I think that's it. So I'm going to take off, and now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.